Okay, people, so we are midway through the season. That means the free agency things have happened. So we are going to look at previous tier lists and change them up, and that's how we're going to do it. So, real quick, I just realized I started recording before I pulled up my old tier list. So, I'm going to pull up YouTube. I am on the right account, and look at my channel, videos, tier list. Okay. Then you're going to pause my old video. You're going to go to the end. And all right. Wait, what? Okay, so this is my old tier list. And yeah. Now you're going to look at the broken Kangas. Last time I had them in the middle of B tier. Oh, and by the way, this will take into account people, like how people have played the teams. Not quite like their record. For example, Steve's team, I think, just like I think like he played well. I think he has a decent record. I don't remember, but I still think the team is horrible. No offense. So that probably won't go up because of it. But yeah. Also, but like UU, the underline nodes, I rank them, I feel, a lot lower. And Gigalith did a lot more than I thought it would with conflicting weather, so I might rank it higher. So first up, we're going to look at the Brooklyn Kangas and his free agency moves. He dropped Galarian Articuno and Entei for an Lego and Rotom Heat. And then I don't know if he's made any low tier ones, but let's see. He still has the Prankster Tailwind, which is good with Nihilego and Rotom Heat both. Fable's still good. I still like Raikou as a tier 2. Lapras has a good typing and good matchups, like which is what it's useful for. Like I don't think it's really normally the best for a T3, but it's worked out well for him. Manchow I think is good. Sandaconda I think is good. Druddigon, good for a tier 4, and Eldegoss decent for a tier 4. However, I do like Entei more than Rotom Heat. I think that Entei is better and did better for him. And he already has an electric type with Raikou. So I don't like that acquisition. Nihilego, I support dropping Articuno, Galarian Articuno, because it basically does everything Tornadus does, but Tornadus is better at it. But I'm not sure if Nihilego is really the way to go, because it's a bit too much one-dimensional. Even though it gets some good support moves, like it's basically you know what it's gonna do when you see it, and the horrible defense stat does really not make up for it. So all in all, I think that the moves he made weren't the best, and it's still not too bad. It's not enough to put him into C tier, but maybe a lower B tier this time. Okay, next up, I'm just gonna go in alphabetical order. California Colossals. Okay, he made a lot of changes. He used to have Stakataka and Tapu Lele and more. I don't remember really what else he had, but now he has. Actually, no. You can look in transactions, I believe. Just down here. Yeah. So he used to have Stakataka, Tapu Lele, Shedinja, and G-Max Butterfree, and he exchanged it for Sylveon, Sableye, Ninetales, and Venusaur. He also traded Rapidash for Greedent. I think this was a phenomenal play. team change. I think that Ninetales, Venusaur, or G-Max are very strong. I had Venusaur G-Max last season, so I might be a bit biased. Sableye is really good with all the utility. It has Prankster Will-O-Wisp, Prankster Quash, Prankster Taunt, it has Fake Out, as well as Prankster Sunny Day to support Venusaur. Sylveon is a good offensive fairy type tier 2 that can function in Trick Room, although Runerigus, I guess it isn't a bad Trick Room setter. And he has Greedent, which is good in Trick Room. He has Dual Weather, which isn't really the best. Like because he's used all his free agency moves, Vanillix and Beartic are kind of dead weight unless a perfect matchup. So they've been, by improving his team, he had to sacrifice that. And Hitmonlee doesn't have terrain to activate his Unburden like he did before. So he made sacrifices with his tier 3s to have better tier 2s and 2-1s. So I think that the team doesn't go quite up to A tier yet, but it's better than before and will be higher B tier. Next, we are going to look at the DC Genies. Okay, 1 second, and I'm going to mute. I'm getting many texts. I'm pretty sure the Bears just signed Andy Dalton, and actually I'm not going to mute. So, yeah, which I'm not going to analyze because it's not a sports channel. But yeah, so he used to have Excadrill here, which he exchanged for. 1 second. I actually do have to mute. Okay, I'm back. Okay, you might have just heard my dad. Yeah. The life of a youngin' like me. Okay. So I believe it was just. No, he made many transactions. Okay, no, that was just all the same transaction. But yeah, so Excadrill for Cobalion and Girder for Claydol. Excadrill for Cobalion, I quite like it. He didn't have sand. Like, I think that if he was able to get Hippopotas as a tier 4, then Excadrill would have been really good. But instead, getting Cobalion, another defensive skill type, and with beat up from Dragapult, very strong. Also, he didn't have a fighting type except Critter, which he dropped. So that was a good move. Like, Excadrill is still really good, but it isn't definitely an improvement. And getting rid of Girder for Claydol is very good because he doesn't really have the best answer to Trick Room, but Imprison Trick Room on Claydol is an option that can deny Trick Room, which is very good. And I really like this move, the few small moves. And if I look at my old tier list, I had him at high B tier, and I think this might move him up into A tier, like low A tier, but still A tier. Next, we are going to look at the those Espeons. And so his moves were my Milotic for Persian, and Rotom for Suicune. So Persian is very good utility. And with Snarl for Snarl Fake Out, Parting Shot, gets Icy Wind, a bunch of other support moves, and Fur Coat's a very good ability that doubles its defense. Which he dropped my Milotic for. And normally I would understand that, but he got Suicune to shore it up. And Suicune's a very good tier 1. It's bulky, Tailwind, it gets a bunch of good support moves, Calm Mind. Although I'm not sure if giving up Rotom was the best here. Because like I guess it makes sense because anti-synergy with Pikachu, maybe, but he doesn't have a fire type now. Fire types are good, especially a fire type that isn't weak to ground, like it doesn't share Metagross's weakness. So that one I'm a bit confused about, but I like the fact that he got another bulky but can be offensive water type to after he dropped my Milotic, and I like Persian. However, so I think that might move him up a bit in B tier. He's still in B tier, though I will put him above Shadow, but not ahead of KC. Next, we have the Halifax Hypnose. And I'm not sure if they made any moves. Oh, they dropped Cursula for Rhydon. Okay, so that's a very small move. Definitely proves it a lot. It's a much stronger Trick Room Sweeper. And Rhydon is very good, tier 3, undervalued, and doesn't have anything else that wants Eviolite on his team. So, yeah, I don't have to talk too much about that. It'll move it up a bit. And, yeah, because my main problem was he had, like, a good Trick Room Setter with Gothitelle, and didn't have a good Trick Room Sweeper besides Cursula, but Rhydon's a better Trick Room Sweeper than Cursula, in my opinion. So that will move him there. Next, we have the Crocodile Dundee. I don't believe he made any transactions. He did not. So that means I will put him. But being honest though, he still has both Wailord and Walrein, which I don't get. But the rest of the team is still very, very good and strong, and I'll keep him in the back of A tier. I think DCG is better though. Now, Cobalion and Claydol. Oh wait, I forgot about the Golf Gyarados. Okay. So we are going to be doing the Golf Gyarados now. The new team who took over for the St. Michael's Alchemy. This team is insane. You have Whimsicott, which Tailwind supports Goodra's bad speed tier, and also other like I guess Regigigas. I don't think it's the best S tier on this team. For this team, but I think that it works and that he inherited it, and it's a good S tier in general. But maybe dropping it would be better for something like Rillaboom, because for healing Comfy, possibly. But it also has Prankster Worry Seed, which helps with Regigigas, though Comfy has Fast Worry Seed, which can do that as well, unless you need the Prankster. But yeah, Comfy Goodra, Terraz the legal S tier. Very good. Goodra's insane. Super bulky. Super strong. Can just get healed and powered up by Comfy with Giga Drain and Floral Healing. Regigigas, also very strong. Monstrous attack. Very bulky. Slow start is bad, but coughing provides it. Scrafty's nice. Intimidate. Fake Out. Snarl. Golurk is cool. I like Golurk, but that might just be bias because it's one of my favorite Pokemon. But like No Guard Dynamic Punch is good, or Iron Fist Shadow Punch that could also be good. Oranguru, you can do some cool symbiosis shenanigans with that, but I don't think there's any good Bulldoze weakness policyers. But Inner Focus is good. It can't get flinched by Fake Out. Telepathy is also good if he doesn't want to get hit by Earthquakes from himself. And it can set up Trick Room. It can use Instruct to make his team go again. Lopunny, fast Fake Out. That's basically all it does. It works for Tier 4. Moonfazant, Super Luck, Crit Item, and Slash, but with a high crit ratio. I'm pretty sure is guaranteed crits, which is cool. It's basically Beta Togekiss that's frail but strong. Wishy Washy. When it's in, like, just look at these stats when it's not in baby form. Bad speed, which means good in Trick Room, and bad HP, which gets short up by its very good defenses, and those attack stats are awesome. But once it goes to baby form, then it's not as good. I think this team is very strong. I'm going to put it in the A tier. I can't decide where in the A tier. I think I'll put it there. Behind, in between those two. My team, I haven't made any transactions yet. Tangela is not quite doing as well as I want it to. If you look at the two Pokemon, like the only two Pokemon I haven't brought are Tangela and Fletchinder. Fletchinder, it's very situational, so I don't like. I got it because it's good value for a Tier 4, and it's very good for the situations when I want to bring it, even though nothing like that has happened now, and I don't know if any will happen in the future. I'll have to look at matchups. Maybe I should drop it. I don't know. And then Tangela, I just haven't used yet. Well, I've had it in team preview, but I've never brought it yet. I still think my team is very good. It's exactly as I picked. It's playing exactly as I picture it would. And I'm gonna keep myself in the A tier. No, I'll be generous. I beat the DC Genies, so I'll put myself ahead of them. Sorry, rude. But most A tiers. Okay, now we have the London Aces. So he made big moves. Dropped Tapu Koko for Galarian Moltres. He dropped Arctozolt for Toxtricity. He dropped Inteleon for Indeedee. He traded the Toxtricity that I just got for Chandelure. And he dropped Volcarona for Togedemaru. And he has Indeedee Meowstic for small size spam, but Indeedee has an insane support move pool and can do so much more than just size spam. It's very good. Psychic Terrain in general to protect from priority is nice. 11 Ninetales with Moltres is scary with Ice Shard, Weakness Policy, and Aurora Veil. Togedemaru to protect Galarian Moltres with Lightning Rod, and also has Fake Out and some other cool moves. It's good. Chandelure has Imprisoned Trick Room, which is nice. The Gorgas also has that, and is a strong fire type to make up for getting rid of Volcarona. Paparaja, it's a strong, not the bulkiest, nice defenses. Trick Room Sweeper, Gorgeist, it's his baby. Gorgeist is cool. With all the 4 different forms, different stats. Audino, don't really know what it does. I think it's also a Trick Room setter, but that's like he already has possible 2, I guess, if he doesn't want to, and I mean 3. So I'm not quite sure what it does here. Quagsire, very good Tier 4, Unaware, can ignore boosts, and which is very good. And Thievul, he got rid of Terrain with Tapu Koko, but now he has it with Indeedee, so Unburdened Fake Tears with Indeedee is scary. And yeah, this is a very good team. He made improvements, even though he had a very good team before. And I put him very close to the top of A tier last time. I'm going to put him at the top of A tier this time so far. No, there. Next up we have the London Sableye. No. And they got Girder for Claydol, and that's their only transaction, which I guess helps. Yeah, because Covert Gregas can imprison Trick Room, so Claydol wasn't really doing much. So this team, I ranked at the bottom of C tier last time, and this is they're doing better than I thought they would do, and their team is playing better than I thought the team would play. But I still don't think the team's that good. I'm sorry. I don't know, because I want to raise it, but I also don't. So, and also, I think I'll leave it in C tier. But I do think I do think the free agency move and the way you've played it is better than before. It's just not enough to jump a tier. So, if you're watching this, Nelly boy, then just yeah, I do think that you've impressed me. Nova Scotia Seeking. He's made a million moves, but like not all of them will be in the transactions tab. Yeah, the only one in the transactions tab is Fungus for Zoroark. This team is insane. I'm not even going to go over it, just though I don't quite understand what Fungus does when he has Clefairy, though it worked against the Gyarados. But yeah, this is simply S tier. PZ Clef, Arcanine, good. Intimidate, like justify it all with beat up Passimian and all that stuff. Azumarill, very good. Belly Drum, huge power. Aqua Jet, Scavalier, very good. Trick Room Sweeper as well. Super bulky, only has one weakness. Glade isn't a bad Trick Room setter and has a lot more utility outside of it. Fungus, it supports things. Passimian, Receiver, Defiant. Receiver, Misty Explosion with Azumarill, huge power is nice. And also can beat up Glade and Arcanine. Charjabug gives a 1.3 times special attack boost for Porygon, which is very good. Pikachu, Lightning Rod to protect Azumarill. And Sandaconda, it's good for a tier 4. That's easy S tier. Next, okay, wrong tab. Next up, wait, no, not there. Is the New York Ninetales. And Samex was able to, he made a lot of moves. He dropped, because LDA dropped Coco, he dropped Feeny for Coco. He dropped Morgrem for 10. Oh wait, no, this is just redoing everything. But he dropped Feeny for Coco, Morgrem for Tentacruel to shore up the water type. And then he traded Green for Rapidash because he wanted an offensive fire type, which helps. And then he dropped Aromatisse for Cincino because Cincino has good utility, and Aromatisse didn't do as much when he had Reuniclus. He had a new, good offensive fairy type. And then he dropped Tentacruel for Silvally, which I had last season. Very good, can do, very versatile, can do almost anything. And yeah, he has Tailwind, Coco Drifblim, which is good. He has a strong trigger mode, 3 Uniclus Delmise, Dugtrio Durakian, Galvantula functions well with Coco with Rising Voltage. He has that, like, Coco being very fast is good for him. Tinchino, it's very good for a tier 4. It has good things. Skill Link makes Tail Slap 125 base power multi-hit move. Very good. Rapidash shores up. He had it last season, and he only used it like once or twice, but used it well, so he knows how to use it. And Scraggy has been putting in a lot more work than you would think with Intimidate, EV Light, and Fake Out. So I do think it's better than before. However, I think I ranked him too highly last time, so I'm going to leave it in B tier. But ahead of the Colossals, I still think it's at the top of B tier now. Next, we have the Phoenix Suns. And his moves were... Oh, wait, no, it's not moves. He dropped Hippopotas for Duskull, and he dropped Sceptile for Morgrem. I think Duskull is good on his team, I guess. I mean, it's basically just baby Dusclops. Good defenses with Eviolite, though horrible HP. Yeah, it does everything Dusclops does, but worse. He still has this type overlap top 3, even though I think they're all good Pokemon. It's still not the best. Blaziken's been doing better than I thought it would. Primarina, obviously doing well. Morgrem is a new acquisition for screens, fake out, taunt, like all that stuff. That's good for him. Mr. Rhyme has very good utility, but very good move pool. I think his team is about okay. Sorry, I'm just debating something in my head. So yeah, I think I ranked it too high last time, even though I still think it's good. I think I'll put it at the bottom of A tier this time. I think his acquisitions were decent, but just it was too highly ranked last time. So yeah. Actually, no, I'm gonna put it like, I know this is a very big jump from top of A to top of B, but like I said last time, I definitely ranked it too high. But yeah, so there's no St. Michael's Alchemy anymore. So Seattle Supersonic Booms. So he made some moves. Jolteon for Cryogonal and Slurpuff for Mimikyu, and don't know why it didn't go through as a free agency, but Zapdos for Rillaboom. Rillaboom's good, but you already have Kartana, so I like the move for Zapdos. You don't need Jolteon now that you have Zapdos. So you got Cryogonal instead as a tier 4, which gave you room because you dropped a tier 3 for 2-4 for Mimikyu as a tier 2, which is very good. Mimikyu is super good. I was debating picking it up earlier in the season because I wanted an offensive Ghost and an offensive Fairy type, and it's a second Trick Room setter, but I decided to keep Klefki. And yeah, this guy is insane. He just made his team even better and more insane. It's going. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. It's going. Actually, I'm not sure if it's better than the Stickies, but it just no. Yeah, it's. I don't know how he's able to get a team this good in Draft League. And then the Undula Unknowns, I definitely ranked them way lower last time. Yeah, Size Spam, Torkoal Venu, Gigalith, Araquanid, very good ability, Rabombi Speed Swap to help Gigalith and Torkoal. The Superb Owl, Sandslash helps with, takes advantage of Gigalith, Wigglytuff, you can't spell it without GG, and Krabby, which is funny because I drafted that for him and he still hasn't dropped it, even though Kingler is in the same tier. And he decided to keep Krabby. It's kind of a meme at this point, but yeah, his team is super good. I put it in B tier last time. I think it goes at the top of S this time. I mean, top of A this time. I'm not sure if I should put it in S because the weather synergy isn't very good. So, even though it's worked out for him, it's not good on paper, and this is mostly an on paper tier list, even though it takes some from how it's played. So yeah. And then I'm gonna. Steve has made some moves as well. Waterloo Wormadans. Sukov, whatever you want to call him. Yeah. He dropped Rhyperior for Rotom, Gastrodon for Mamoswine, Riolu for Dusknoir, and Rotom for Croagunk. I mean, he doesn't need Gastrodon because he got rid of Rhyperior. So he dropped it for Mamoswine, which makes up for the ground type. Also gives him an Ice type, and it has Snow Cloak, which can work well with Snow, Hail, and Bomb Snow. Also can spam Earthquakes with Levitate Rotom. He got the new Rotom. I had Rotom on last season. It's very good. Many different things it can do, and he and then he dropped his old Rotom because he got a better Rotom for Croagunk with it, which is Fake Out and is good. I think his team is better than before, but it's still the worst team in the by far. So it's going to be C tier, and behind. Oh wait, no, not there. And behind Nelly. Yeah. Actually, I think I'm going to put PHX here. Instead. Sorry, Poppin. Also, I'm going to end up making you look worse than you are when you destroy me tomorrow. But yeah. So Steve, Stukum definitely improved it, with his moves, but it is still a mono Gen 4 team, and therefore not very good. So yeah, here's my full tier list. After it, the power of free agency is a power not to be trifled with, as we learned by the Guelph Gyarados. Yeah, nice job, and by most people making free agency, because sorry Shadow, I think you're the only person who went down because of your picks. I think if other people went down, it was just because other people went up. But this was definitely very interesting. Bye.